Today we're going to be putting in a
PA system.
Yeah, we're putting a PA system for the truck. These wires that run the power into the horn are very short, so I also ordered a 18 gauge wires. That way we can extend them and also put them into the cab of the truck. I'm going to see if this will even reach the cab from where we want to place it.
Yeah.
Can I even get that in there? Ooh, I might not be able to. Might have to take off the grill.
Yeah.
Or, hold on. Think I can go in from the bottom?
I doubt it.
Okay.
Should have more than enough length.
Yeah, that's enough.
Oh yeah.
That'll reach.
That's more than
especially if it's dropped down there. I think that might give you some more room too.
Yeah.
So this will reach the microphone.
Yeah.
I have to trim this wire and put more 18 gauge on it. That way we can reach it to the cab of the truck because I'm putting it in the fuse box. So where should we start?
I would start by getting it mounted. Okay. What I did was I took this bracket off and then I tapped that to
I didn't see that.
The frame, so you can take that off, mount that, and then you can put that on.
I might do that. I think I'm going to take the grill off. That way I can place it and see how it looks.
Good idea.
And then before I drill into the truck, I want to see if it'll look nice or even fit. Because I think this is too far back and it's going to contact the radiator.
Yeah.
I might have to place it vertically. Toyota. Oh yeah, I'm gonna run into that.
Yeah,
I might have to mount it
sideways. You could mount it sideways.
Oh, that's not. Oh man, could mount it like that too on the bumper.
That would be easy. I would do it the other way, so then I would have it face that way, so it'd be a lot easier to get that tightened because it's just right there.
Oh yeah, the wiring will be nicer too.
Yeah.
So like this is what we're going with?
I would go with that, yeah.
All right, let me take off this bracket. Right, so we got our mounting place figured out. We're gonna take off the bracket, get it drilled into the bumper, is what we decided? Is that what that is? Okay.
Yep.
So this is what our bracket looks like. I'm gonna get self-tapping screws. All right. So I was thinking, I think a 1/2 inch would be good, or should I go bigger?
Probably, I think mine were 1/2 inch, yeah.
I might use 1/2 inch. Stopped by Harbor Freight earlier. Got them self-tappers. Oh, that'll be more than enough. Is that too thin though? Do I need a 10?
I would go one size bigger, yeah. Yeah, that one.
Okay, let's get 2 more of those.
That should be good.
And then I need to get my sockets.
And then to drive them in, I use the...
I have a center punch in my toolbox as well.
Oh, okay.
Got a little centering punch here.
Nice.
Little.
All right.
Back it out a bit too. Perfect. One more. That one went in like butter.
Oh.
So that's what our bracket's looking like now. We're going to put the horn back on it and then we'll run the wires into the cab. But I got a flexible screwdriver to try and hold that screw while we got it tightened down now. Jasper's going to lunch for now. I'm gonna keep going while he's gone. The horn is mounted. We're going to extend the wires on it. That way we can reach it to the interior and also ground it inside the engine bay. We're gonna put one of these ends on it and crimp it. That way we can ground it to the fog light ground as well. We'll run the cables into the rest of the sleeve that the wire or the fog lights are using. That way it can all be in the same thing. We don't have to cut open the grommet again. And then we'll tear apart the inside. Actually, we'll start with that. Same thing as before. So I need to take out my floor mat. We're gonna remove this by pulling it back. This little footrest. And then gotta undo this tiny little bolt down here in the back. And we can take this pillar cover, pull straight back, lift this up. That can be removed. Set that over there, along with these so they don't get lost. Okay, so this is the wiring harness for our fog lights. This might come off later, but for now, let's go extend the cables. Okay, so for our tools for the wires, we have multi-use crimp tools and splicers. I bought 18 gauge wire with multiple colors. We're just gonna use red and black. And then I got heat shrink, and we're just gonna use red and black as well. to seal the connections on it. So first, we're going to pull back the insulation on it. So for the red, I've already done on the black wire. For the red wire, we're going to put it in our 18 gauge slot. You can see that, yeah, our 18 gauge slot right there. And then we're going to spin it and pull it off. There we go. Yeah, so that wire is now revealed. Black wire has already been done. So now we're going to take our wire. Then we're going to do the same thing to the other side, where we have to pull back the insulation. All right, now it's pulled back. I'm going to get heat shrink on that actually before I put that on. So now that the heat shrink is on here, we're going to put it together and then heat it up. I'm going to take our black wire, sort of just roll it around, and then we'll bend one side and spin it together. And the heat shrink over it, realize that this is not big enough heat shrink. Oh, nope, got it working. All right, now that that's covered, we're gonna go get our heat gun. So now we gotta heat up our heat shrink, which you can see now. Just gonna pull this to the side and then heat it up. Which I guess you can't see right now, so we'll do it with our left hand. This is a low setting too, which doesn't take long for heat shrink to heat up. Let it cool down. I'm going to tap it lightly, so that way I can see if it's tight. Make sure it's heated up in the right places. Looks like it's holding on pretty well. We're gonna let that cool down, then do a tug test. All right, let's see. All right, tugging pretty firmly, but not trying to rip it out. It's adhered pretty well. So now we're going to run enough wire out that we can reach the ground, which I think we're gonna cut it right here and then trim it if we need to. Then we'll run our ground out of the way. All right, now for the power wire, the red wire. We're gonna do the same thing and then run it out that way as well. We're gonna pull the insulation back on this again. Let's get our heat shrink. Might have to use the bigger one for this. Little buff. Just slide that on there. All right, just unravel this. Then same thing. And then you might have to twist the wire to get it more straight and uniform. See how it's like spreading out? I like to give it a little twirl. Then I might need to pull the insulation back on that a bit more. We will see. Then we're gonna heat this up. You see it's starting to shrink too. All right, that is enough. We'll let it cool down. All right, little tug test. Ah, that one did not pass the tug test. We will need to do that again. Let's get that heat shrink on this time. We might just have to use black heat shrink. All right, let that cool down. All right, little tug test now. Perfect, it works now. So now we gotta stretch this out. See how much we need to run it into the cab. There we go. All right, now that we got the wires attached, we are going to actually test them by connecting it to the battery. So that way, if we know if anything's wrong, we don't have to run back 15 steps. Also, Jasper's back.
What's up, guys?
Is this shit working? Oh shit. Let's go.
It's a working.
All right, now we're ready for the next step, getting it into the cab and also grounding this.
Where are you running the ground to?
The same place my fog lights are grounded. So for this part, we're going to take this end right here, this little wire end thing. We'll pull this up where we can, where it's still pretty loose, because I'm gonna clamp everything down with those zip tie things. But I think this is a good amount. I might trim it a bit. I'm gonna trim it a bit. We'll put it like right there. There we go. That's cut, and we'll trim the insulation back. About that much. Oh, Jasper. All right. That's trimmed. Get it spinned. Put it through here. And then I'm pretty sure we're gonna use this up here to crimp that down. I might be wrong about that. We'll see. All right. All good?
Yeah.
Looks right.
Yep.
Little tug test. Oh. It was in fact not good. I think we're going to need to use the more aggressive crimping. just gonna get a new one. We'll use these ones down here, which that doesn't look correct. This doesn't look like the right crimping tool, but whatever. It is what it is.
There you go.
There we go.
Perfect.
That looks stronger now.
Oh yeah, that'll hold. That's
Oh, yeah.
good.
Little tug test.
Yep.
Oh, built different, dude.
Yep.
And that's how you crimp it correctly. I think I'm gonna run it through the sleeve I used for the fog lights.
Mm-hmm.
That way it's more protected. All right, should I put it behind and this one up front? Like that?
Either way.
It'll buff. I'll just run it over. And then run it down like that. So that's tightened down. All right, now we're gonna run our power wire correctly to the cabin. So we got the ground tucked in the fog light sleeve. Now we're gonna run it through the same way and connect it to the sleeve going through the firewall over here. We're gonna run it back a bit more and then tuck it through the sleeve here because that's where it's connected. So I'm gonna pick this up over here and then run it under where it was before. That way it'll be easier to slide it down the sleeve and then I'll plug it back in when it's finished. All right, that's there, it's chilling. All right, and the power wire is through. Okay, now we just need to run it through and hope it makes it all the way down. I have to tape this so that way it like actually moves through the sleeve. Dude, this shit might not make it through. I'm just gonna go to the back of it and then run the wire into the sleeve afterwards. Trying to feed it through the sleeve is not working very well, so we're gonna do another trick we used in an older video, which is to take an old coat hanger, make it straight as possible, then tape it to the end of the stick, and we're just gonna feed it through the sleeve and get it through the firewall. I'm gonna take this back out. Tape it to the end of this, get it through. All right, there we go. I'm gonna slide it into the side of the sleeve and then push it through the firewall. We through? Hold on, let's check. Oh, we're through. I got it. Sweet. All right, now that that's through the firewall, I'm going to peel it back. All right, now it's through the firewall, we're going to take off the tape. And now we can pull the wire out, or the coat hanger out, and get the other one in here as well. While we're also in the cab, I'm just going to pull the rest of this through until there's not so much slack. All right, that should be good. All right, now we got to do the same thing with the microphone, and it might be a little bit harder to install. All right, let's check. And there it is. All right, let's get our coat hanger out. I did some off-camera work, so we got the wires tucked into the sleeve correctly, have it taped off where it branches out. Zip tied the harness that I put for the fog lights. I cut it out and then zip tied it again to get the wires tucked correctly. We're trimming it up. This is our power. So now we're going to get fuse taps. That way we can power it to our auxiliary again, like the fog lights, and we can use it without it on all the time. For now, I'm going to pull back the insulation and then put it into the fuse area. That way we can get it to work for now. We'll tap into our ignition one for now. All right, that's in. Let's see if it works. Hey guys, how you doing? All right, it works. All right, so we did some off-screen work here a minute ago. All the front ends put back together. Cables on the inside are what are left. So this is where we left it at. What's left now is we're just gonna put fuse taps in there, and then it should be good and more professional looking. And we also have everything put back together up here, well, besides that box. But I can't do much without a high enough fuse before we can actually tap it. So it's just chilling in there with the, I believe that's the ignition fuse. So we're gonna order some low profile mini fuses and come back on this video later. So that's how you install a PA system. Thank you, Jasper, for helping me do that.
You're welcome.
We also want to say this is for entertainment purposes only, and don't do this at home.
We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.